we are going to read Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. The best part about this book is we don't just read it together. We get to sing it together. Singing is very important for early literacy because singing slows down language and lets children hear those small sounds in words. That's called phonemic awareness. Phonemic awareness is a very important skill to have when learning to read. So the more you can sing together, the better it is for your early literacy. And it's really fun too. Pete the Cat loves his 4 groovy buttons so much, he's going to sing this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. And you guys can help me sing along and find out what happens to Pete and his groovy buttons. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And he loved his buttons so much that he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons does Pete have left? That's right! He's got 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Because 4 minus 1 is 3. Awesome job, guys. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. This time we're going to say 3 buttons. You ready? My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? That's right! 2. 1, 2. Because 3 minus 1 equals 2. Good job, guys. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. This time, how many buttons are we going to say? That's right, 2. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons does Pete have left now? That's right! He's got 1 button. 1. Because 2 minus 1 equals 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no! Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. And how many buttons are we going to sing this time? 1 button. My 1 groovy button. My 1 groovy button. Pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons does Pete have left now? Oh, this is a tricky one. That's right! He has 0. It looks just like a 0, an O. 1 minus 1 equals 0. Nothing. Trace that with our hands. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt. What do you think he saw? His belly button! And he kept singing his song. My button, still got my belly button. My button, still got my belly button. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. Let's give them one last count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 groovy buttons.